Hey there, good to see you.
Great to see you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We're here with defending champion Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson, first, we saw the pictures and some of the footage of you returning the trophy.
Yeah.
Talk about what that felt like, but also what it's been like having it for almost a year.
Almost a year, yeah. No, I wish I would have had it for a year. But, again, I'm very blessed to have won this championship. And I think that from my perspective, touring it around a little bit, taking it to some fun places and having some fun with it was great. I was nice enough to bring it back in good shape, no dinks, no dents. So that's what I was proud about. And, hopefully I can take it back again this week.
We're going to take one from the WebEx. Having seen the course a little bit already this week, where do you plan to be aggressive, and what are your thoughts on the setup?
It's a great question. I mean, try and be as aggressive as possible. I feel like it's a little bit similar to Winged Foot, albeit the grass around, in the rough is a little thicker. It's a different type of grass, so you can't get through it as easily. But for the most part, I'm going to be trying to bomb it as much as possible and gouge it out when I don't hit it in the fairway.
Questions? Go ahead.
Todd Strain, NBC. Any memorable moments with the trophy? Anything that sticks out to you, or as you look back on that year with the trophy?
So I took it to Albany in the Bahamas for a little bit, and we had some fun with it. It was in some interesting places, but definitely places that were safe. But taking it on a beach was fun, and just taking pictures of it. That was cool. Where else do we have it? It was mainly in the house. Took it over to a bunch of buddies' houses. Had it in my hometown, which was really cool. It was pretty special to have it back there, and just getting everybody to see it. I grew up not too far away from my high school, and was able to kind of tote it around there. It's just fun bringing it back to places where you grew up, and it meant so much to you that they had given everything they had to help me succeed, and just being able to give back with that trophy was pretty cool.
Take one more from the WebEx. How much more of a grind is a U.S. Open week compared to other majors or even other weeks?
In the beginning years, it was a big grind, trying to understand the golf course. What can I do? As the past couple of years have come about, the game plan is really simplified my course preparation a lot. And so I haven't really been able to, I don't really need to go out as much, I don't think, and try and get comfortable with all the golf courses, or all the golf holes, excuse me. And that's one of the things that people don't realize is you just get more comfortable over the years, so you don't have to work as hard, which is nice. I played with Akshay Bhatia, and he, was going to go play 18 and practice a lot, and I'm like, look, even I find it tough to relax on one of these weeks because you want to do so well, but he was working really hard, and he was going to be working. I just say, hey, look, you got to take some time off and rest and get your body ready for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a long grind, so
Right here.
Yeah, obviously the situation with Brooks coming in, now you're on a bigger stage at a U.S. Open. He was asked a little while ago what he thought that does or doesn't do for golf. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think it's fun. There's a point where it's great banter. I personally love it. I think that, as time goes on, I hope, on the weekend we can play against each other and compete. I think it'd be fun and be great for the game.
People were asking if you were asked whether you'd be okay pairing with him in the early rounds. Was there ever a conversation about that with the...
I mean, I'd have been okay with it, but no, there was never really anything that went through me.
Another one from the WebEx. What are your memories of Tiger winning here in 2008 and kind of your thoughts on what he achieved?
I would say the putt on 18 was very memorable. Obviously I'm chipping in on 17. I think it was a Saturday. I'm making a couple eagles on 13. Those are pretty cool. But 18, making that putt, knowing he had to make it, and there was nothing else, nothing more to it. You just had to make it, and he was able to do it. I'd say the amount of times that human being has willed golf balls into a hole, it goes beyond conscious comprehension. It is beyond miraculous what he can do with the golf ball and what he can do for the game of golf in general, and that's what I wish he was here, but I think that we're all keeping him in good spirits and pumping him up when we can, and his memories, his thought, my thought of him out here will keep pushing me forward to play my best.
Right here, on the right. Did you have one?
You mentioned, Bryson, it's all good fun, this thing with Brooks. What would have to happen for it to cross the line? When does it cross?
I mean, I wouldn't say, look, for me, I'm always going to be trying to play my game and not really worry too much about what other people are doing. But, I think there are just times where if it gets outside the scope of, just integrity and honor, then, yeah, that can get a little interesting. But same point in time, all of it's been good fun. It's been fun. I mean, shoot, to be honest, people saying, Brooksy's name out there, I love it. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious.
Does it bother you that no one's called him Bryson yet?
Oh, no, I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, hey, he's older than me, and he's won more majors than me, so, hey, I got something to look up to.
Right here.
Can I ask you what you thought of Steve Stricker's comments? He said he wasn't happy at you two going back and forth on stage. Is there other reassuring words you can offer him?
I personally think when we're on a team, we're going to be on a team, and it's going to be a different atmosphere. We're competitors competing individually on an individual basis out here, and I think we, banter back and forth, and we have good fun. But when it comes time to play on a team, it'll be different.
Another one from the WebEx. Phil was asked yesterday a little bit about you asking him about his flop shot.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what went on there?
It's funny you say that because I didn't realize there'd be that much talk about him just describing his flop shot and how he does it. And Chris was very interested. My coach Chris was super interested in trying to understand what's going on, how he hits that high spinner. And I think that was a big question that he's had for a long time. Like, how does Phil, how does Tiger, how do these guys do that shot? And so he just wanted to know, and we were asking him questions. There was a super slow-mo video in it, and he saw it. He was like, man, that's really cool to actually see it in action. I know I do it, but to actually see it's pretty cool. So it was a fun back-and-forth interaction. Phil's a great guy. He means really well for the sport. What he did at the PGA Championship was great for the game of golf, and I hope he plays well here and competes and contends. Hopefully I have something to say about that, but we'll see. And I think, again, anytime you get a little information from a veteran out here, it's pretty useful. He's done a lot.
Can you hit that shot?
No. I don't have the right bounce. He's got a different type of grind, and the way it goes through right now, I just swing it differently, totally different. He's a lot more wristy. I'm a lot more neutral-handed, so I cannot, and it's something that I got to work on. He's got that on me. No, not this week.
All the way on the right.
Bryson, what are the challenges of winning at Torrey Pines, and maybe in comparison to winning at Wingfoot?
Personally, I would say that the rough's a little different, so it's not going to be as easy to get through, I think, with the wedge out here at Torrey Pines compared to Wingfoot. But having said that, I think it's going to be the same sort of strategy, and if I can keep hitting it to the front of the greens, two-putting when I get into trouble, I'm going to give myself a great chance this week. When I hit in the fairway, I have to take advantage of those holes, have to take advantage of the par fives out here. If I can do those two things, I feel like I'll have a great chance of contending.
Do you think your advantage is similar to what it was at Wingfoot or maybe Bay Hill?
Yeah, I believe so. if I have over 190 mile an hour ball speed, it's going to be tremendous out here, covering bunkers and whatnot. Again, sometimes the bunkers are good to be in out here, though. I will say that they're really great condition, and the rough lies can be quite treacherous sometimes. It really depends on what type of lie you get. So I really don't know if bunkers or rough is better, but for sure, just getting as close as I can to the green, I think is going to be a strategy of mine.
How's your game compared to those wins?
It's about the same. It's about in the same area, and hopefully, I worked on something today that I feel a lot more confident with. So hopefully, I'm a little bit in a better position than I was at Wingfoot and Arnold Palmer. Again, you just got to putt well out here. These greens, I really didn't grow up on Poana per se. I was in the Central Valley. We played on perfect bent greens. So coming over the West Coast or the coastline, it was always a little difficult with Poana. But as I've started to putt better with the sick technology in the face, my putters and doing what I'm doing with arm lock, it's just helped me be more confident. And I have had success on the West Coast with Poana. Obviously PGA last year. So I'm getting more comfortable on the greens. If I can stay comfortable, I'll contend this week hopefully.
Back to Doug.
Bryce, Ricky's starting to come out of a bit of a struggle. Jordan went through it for a couple years. A number of guys who've gone like 7 years between wins. Made me wonder, what do you consider the greatest struggle you ever had in the game? And were you better for it, or do you wish it never happened?
I think any struggle that occurs is always going to make you better personally. I had one where I just got on tour, 2017, and I missed 14 cuts in a row. I don't know if people realize that, but I missed 14 cuts in a row, and I missed a lot of them by like a shot, and it was tough. I didn't know how to deal with it emotionally, physically, how to practice, what I needed to do to make that next little leap, and it just took a lot of grit and resolve. And those moments, albeit I hated it in the moment, I look back at it now as defining me and making me the person I am today. And so I have to appreciate those moments as much as possible. And I think, with Jordan and Ricky, them coming out of what happened with them, it's making them better too. There's no doubt about it. And I have more respect for them from it. I mean, to see them keep persevering and going on. Even Phil, he had a little bit of fun, and he won the PGA, and so there's a lot of respect as we have from peers, struggling.
Was that
together.
that time for you more difficult physically or emotionally?
Emotionally, for sure. Again, I was not the size that I was back then, and having to practice the amount of hours I did to try and figure it out was grueling on my body. I got injured a couple times doing it. But as I got through it, it made me realize what my baseline is. So I could always go down little rabbit holes, but I could always pull myself back to a baseline that was successful on tour.
You didn't have that baseline before the 14.
No,
That's okay.
no, not at all. So
I'm done, Julia. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Bryson. Good luck this week.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.